All right, if you can have a seat, get the microphone nice and close, keep your voice up. Can you please introduce yourself to the jury? Yes, my name is Alex Vaughn. Whenever you're ready, counsel. Thank you, Judge. Good afternoon, Mr. Vaughn. How are you? Good. If you could you introduce yourself to the members of the jury and spell your first and last name? Yes, my name is Alex Vaughn. My first name is spelled Alex. My last name, Vaughn. Mr. Vaughn, do you have a nickname? Yes. And what is that? Lil A. Say it again. Lil A. How old are you? 29. And are you currently living within the state of Illinois? No, I'm out of state. Are you currently working? Yes. What's your occupation? I'm a chef. Are you married? Soon to be. Do you have any children? Yes. About how many? 8. If you could you just explain to the members of the jury, where did you grow up? Where were you born? I was born on the low end of Chicago, 41st and Federal. Is that the former Robert Taylor Homes? Yes. At some point, how long did you live there? From a baby up until early 2000. Why did your family move? The Robert Taylors was getting torn down. They were what? They were getting torn down. Okay. Now, when you guys moved from the Robert Taylor Homes, where did you go? We moved to Elizabeth. Elizabeth and what cross street? 71st. Who moved with you to Elizabeth and 71st? Me, my mom, my brothers and my sisters, and my father. About how many brothers and sisters moved with you there? It was a total of 9. What was it like when you first moved out to Inglewood? It was real. It was kind of rough because of where we came from. And what do you mean by that? Basically, where we moved to on Elizabeth, it was a guy who they basically was fooling with some of the guys like from the low end. And did that cause problems with you and your family? Yes. Who was that guy? Do you know his name? Old man. I'm sorry, did you say old man or old man? Old man. O with just an O? Old. Old. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry. Judge, at this time, the government would move to admit Government Exhibit 1110. I'll show it to the defense counsel. Any objection to admission of Government Exhibit 1110? No. No, sir. No. It will be admitted without objection. You may publish. Do you see a picture in front of you? Yes. And who's that a picture of? Old man. Was old man in charge of any gang in the neighborhood? Yes. And what gang was that? ETG. Do you know what ETG stood for? Yes. And what's that? Elizabeth True Gangsters. Now, you said when you moved into the neighborhood, your family had some trouble with old man. Is that right? Yes. What was the trouble? Basically because we was from the low end of Chicago and he had killed someone from there. And did that cause problems with him and your family? Yes. Did some resolution come about at some point? Yes. And that problem that you guys had, it was over? Is that right? Correct. After the problem was resolved itself, did you hang around with old man? Yes. Explain to the jury what that is. What do you mean? When I say you hung around him, what does that mean? What did you do? I kick it with him. Keep your voice up to stay near that microphone. Thank you. Basically, like, kicked it with him. Did things we was told to do. Basically on Elizabeth mostly every day with him. So, did you become a member of ETG? I wouldn't say I was a member of ETG. Okay. But you just out there and he's giving you some direction on what to do? Yes. Okay. Are you currently a member of a gang? No. Were you previously a member of a gang? Yes. And which gang do you identify as being a member of previously? Goonie Boss. And how long were you a member of Goonie Boss? I was a member of Goonie Boss since early 2008 into the beginning of 2017. Okay, so from 2008 to 2017, you were a member of Goonie Boss. Yes. Is there a gang that you know called Goonie Gang? Yes. Is Goonie Gang and Goonie Boss the same thing to you? No. Explain to the members of the grand jury what the difference is there. Okay, basically, Goonie, at first, we was Goonies. We called ourselves Goonies. It was me, a lot of people my age around the area, and I was an older brother, and I had an older brother. His name was Little Albert, and he was killed. He was hit in the head with a baseball bat, and we all was screaming Goonies, and we all looked up to him as a big brother. So once he died, we came up with Goonie Boss. And Goonie Boss, when you first came up with it, was that in 2008? Yes. And is that right after your older brother was killed? Yes. Let's talk a little about the formation of Goonie Boss. Would you consider yourself one of the founding members of Goonie Boss? Yes. Who else, along with you, founded Goonie Boss? Me, my brother Alvin, E Boogie, Delbert, Ray Ray, Boosie. Okay. Let me show you what's already in evidence as Government Exhibit 2204. 2204 is already in evidence. You may publish. What's in front of you is Government Exhibit 2204. Do you see that? Yes. Who is that? That's Alvin Vaughn. That's my brother. Okay, and is that one of the brothers that started Goonie Boss with you? Yes. Does Alvin Vaughn have a nickname? Yes. What is that nickname? G-Boy. I'm going to show you now what's in evidence as Government Exhibit 2208. 2208 is in evidence. You may publish. What's in front of you is 2208. Do you see that? Yes. And who is that? Devontae Norwood. Does Devontae Norwood have a nickname? Yes. Boosie Wee. And was Devontae Norwood, was he one of the original members of Goonie Boss? Yes. Is Devontae Norwood still alive? No. Judge, this is not in evidence yet, so just for defense counsel and the witness, go ahead. Judge, I like to move into evidence, Government Exhibit 2209. I don't believe there's an objection. Any objection to the admission of Government Exhibit 2209? No. No, sir. No. It will be admitted without objection. You may publish. Thank you, Judge. What's in front of you is Government Exhibit 2209. Do you see that? Yes. And who is that? E Boogie. Do you know E Boogie's real name? I think Eric Hughes. E Boogie was a member, an original member of Goonie Boss? Yes. One more, Your Honor. Just for the witness and defense counsel. The government would move to admit 2220 into evidence. I don't think there's an objection to it. Any objection to the admission of Government Exhibit 2220? No. No, sir. No. Admitted without objection. You may publish. What's in front of you is Government Exhibit 2220. Do you see that? Yes. Who's that? Dell. And do you know Dell's real name? Delbert Van Allen. Is Delbert Van Allen related to anybody associated in this case? Yes. Who is he related to? Romeo Blackman. Do you know their relation? Cousins. What was the point of Goonie Boss when you first started it? Okay. So basically, it used to be like a bunch of it. Used to be a bunch of us. We used to go like swimming up at Ogden Park. Used to play basketball, stuff like that. Basically, we was like a bunch of, young kids that grew up in the area. We hang around each other, have fun and stuff like that. At some point, did that change? Yes. Do you know when it changed? I want to say a few years down the line. Is that a few years after 2008? Yes. What precipitated the change? Basically, it was other people got to coming around, and it was basically Romeo and everybody started coming around. So we got to doing other things, getting into it with people. All right. Well, let's talk about that a little bit. You say you got into other things and getting into it with people. So can you explain to members of the jury what it means when you say you started getting into it with people? What does that mean? Basically, we started having conflict with different gangs, and we started shooting at each other and stuff like that. Okay, let me take a step back. Goonie Boss. What was the idea behind Goonie Boss? Was there a leader? No. Explain that to us. Basically, like I say, at first we was Goonies, then we changed it to Goonie Boss because of my brother, and basically then nobody out there listened to no one. We all considered ourselves bosses. And how many people were actually Goonie Boss? Do you know? Do I got to say names, or do I got to... I'm asking you how many people. Probably basically 10, 15. Okay, let me ask you this. You mentioned an individual named Romeo Blackman. Do you know a person named Romeo Blackman? Yes. What nickname do you know him as? Old Dog. Was he a member of Goonie Boss? At one point in time, yes.